Better hurry, spark it up with no worries. Harmonious gang with the big bro Yuriy, hyphy. Get lit just like me, big bossed up, chop it up with Rylee. You better come with it or kick rocks, cause you now tuned in to 10 Talks. Now let's get lifted and take a shot. You are now tuned in to 10 Talks.
What's up, guys?
You should have faded
shit,
it
that
a
was
little.
so loud.
That was like so abrupt. You should have faded it.
I can't fade it. That's what I'm saying. Once
Oh,
I have it
shit.
set up, we'll be able to fade it out carefully or whatever. But
Okay.
boom, here we are, episode 20.
Damn.
I know a lot of people have been complaining about our mics being a little bit low, so I added the gain even more right now to the mics. But now it sounds too loud,
It does sound very loud.
right? Especially when I do my S's. Like it just it's like piercing. Wait, hold on.
It is a little loud.
I'm gonna turn it down a bit. Okay, boom. I think that should be a little bit better. My S's won't be so freaking crazy. All right, here we go. We still haven't created an intro video or whatever to go with that song, and I think I told Rylee this already that on our last episode of 10 Talks, I was talking about how I wanted to get in touch with the dude who did the Young 40 music video.
Yes.
I think his name is Brian or something like that. And I did email him. I did get in contact with him, and he was basically. It was kind of like a weird conversation where usually like when you're trying to get like some sort of service from someone, you'll tell them what you want, and they'll be like, okay, that's gonna be this much, like. But this time, like I hit him up, and he's like, oh, tell me what you want so we can like work out a price or whatever. And I was like, okay. I told him everything I wanted, and then he's like, okay, what's your budget? And I was just like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know how much this costs. I've never bought animations before. I don't know anything about the animation world. I don't know how much they charge, like, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I was like, and also I don't want to be spending. I don't think we can spend that much money on this like 20-second intro. So I said $150 is my max, and then he basically said, oh, like we won't be able to work for that budget or whatever, like blah blah, like in like really nice words. And I was just like, that's kind of weird. Like I would expect him to be like, oh, I can't do that for 150. It's gonna be 500,
Yeah.
or 1,000.
Or like, yeah, at least tell you the price.
Yeah, exactly. At least tell me the price so I can be like, oh, okay, let's see if like
we can make that happen.
Exactly, or some shit like
That's
that.
a little weird,
But he was just like basically like no, and I was like, all right, whatever. Wait, hold on, we gotta cheers.
Sorry.
This is lemon.
Lemon drop.
Let's go. You got the same thing?
Yep.
Cheers. We are drinking alcohol again. We're feeling better since
We
last
are.
week.
These are healthy alcohol though.
Exactly. Healthy alcohol. That's what I was telling my friend. I was kicking it with Alan the other day, and he was like, so you drink every day now, huh? And I was like, I don't drink every day. I was like, I drink probably like every week or whatever, but not every day. And I was like, if I do like day drink, it's kombucha beers, which I think is kind of like healthy way of drinking. Which it
I
might
guess.
be. There might be hella sugar in there. You know what I mean?
No,
Like
these ones are low sugar.
these ones are low sugar.
They're only 3 grams.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, that's pretty fire. Actually, you can drink hella of these. And like, dude, that Rockstar on the table you guys can't even see is like almost 40 grams.
I know.
So you have to drink hella of these to match that amount of sugar.
Coca-Cola is 53 grams or something like that.
Jesus Christ. That's
I
fucking
know.
gnarly.
And you're only supposed to have, like, the max is, I think, 45 grams of sugar.
No, it's way less. It's like
now
like in
it's
the 30s.
less. That was probably like when I was in elementary school.
It's like in the 30s for the amount of, and you know what's even
That's
crazier is like
crazy.
adults, your daily average intake of sugar should be like I think it's like 35 grams or like, it's like in the 30s somewhere, right? But kids, theirs is like half. Like a kid should be taking like 15-20 grams of sugar max a day, and it's the opposite. Kids are eating more sugar than adults.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like as a kid, I could eat like 5 Snickers and be like, dude, I want another one. Like I could do that all day.
Oh, yeah.
And I probably was doing that sometimes. Like it's kind of weird how it's the opposite. Like we eat fucking hella sugar as kids, and then as we age older, we're like,
you're not into it
yeah,
as
you're
much.
like, I don't like sugar that much anymore.
Exactly. I mean, growing up, my house was always filled with everything sugary. Every cereal you can imagine. Oreos, Chips Ahoy, Cosmic Brownies, soda, Capri Suns, Kool-Aid, everything. I was so chunky.
You know what's funny
I
is
couldn't help it.
at the No Jumper warehouse, we have a refrigerator there, and usually there's just like waters and LaCroix in there. And recently, Josh stocked it up with Capri Suns, cookies. Like he got so much random snacks and juices and all this stuff. And I looked at it and I was like, I'm getting fat this summer. I'm gonna be. And I sit there all day. I'm sitting at the computer all day, so I'm just gonna be fucking. The first day I was there, I went to 3 bags of cookies and I think like 4 Capri Suns.
That's your thing, though. Every time we stock up on stuff, you just go through it so fast. You're a snacker.
It's so weird because a lot of people will have like in their kitchen, like your mom likes to have displays of food, displays of snacks. But for me, that would have never worked because like the other day, Rylee and I went shopping and we got like I love eating what's it called, seaweed or whatever, seaweed paper. It's like just like these little seaweed strips, and there's like different flavors like wasabi and salt and shit. And like I was grabbing like a couple, and Riley's like, stock up, grab a bunch. And I was like, dude, I've done this before where I grab like 10 of them thinking like, oh yeah, this is gonna last me like a week. I eat all of them that night. I come home.
Yeah, okay, so usually
You know what the issue is?
no, wait, let me say something.
We know what the issue is with that though is
hold
on, rice papers there's too little in there. It's almost like opening a Lay's bag, and 80% of it's air and all the rest
I
is
feel that.
when you open up one of those wasabi things, you get like 5 strips. It's like barely anything.
Yeah, but anyways, what I was saying is that Yuriy often stays up longer than I do and like works on the computer and stuff because I like to go to sleep early.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll wake up in the morning and his table is full of crazy snacks, and I'm like, it looks like Santa Claus just came to the house. What the fuck?
It's so weird because
I'm just like, what happened? Because it's like all like wrappers like just tossed everywhere, and Yuriy likes to keep everything nice and neat. So it's like, it's so funny to see it in the morning. I'm just like, this.
It's like there's here's the thing with me. I've realized if I'm being lazy, and if I know that I don't want to do anything for this amount of time or even for the rest of the day, if I'm like, oh, I'm just chilling at home the whole day, I don't care, there's nothing for me to do, I can have shit like it can be a mess or whatever.
Exactly.
But as soon as like I need to edit something or like do something on my computer or do anything productive, I can't focus if the house is dirty. Like even if I'm in the bedroom like editing, like even though I don't do the dishes that often, the dishes will be in the back of my mind like, fuck, I want to do the dishes, I want to do the dishes, and then I don't know, just like I can't work until everything's ready.
Yep, I feel that.
There's 2 things we didn't bring up as soon as we started this podcast, which I feel like is important.
Oh, yeah.
Rylee made a charcuterie board. Look at this thing.
Hey, that actually doesn't look bad.
It looks really nice. We're only missing sweets, and that's why we have these recess eggs.
You're supposed to do fruit or like a berry or something.
Did Easter pass already?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
shit.
got these on discount.
Oh, dang it.
On clearance.
What did we do on Easter? I don't even remember. Oh, wait, we filmed with Kiki. We were with Kiki filming 10 Talks. I fucking remember now. That's so funny. I forgot about that. But we have this charcuterie board that we're going to get into eventually. And then also, Rylee has new hair, right?
Oh, yeah,
you didn't have this hairstyle in the last one.
Yes, I got bangs because I was bored and bangs are trendy right now.
I was bored.
I was just bored with my look, and I feel like people care. But I just felt like I wanted to cover my forehead a little more. And I just wanted to make it a little darker, too.
Rylee's so hypocritical because, like, a couple months ago, she's like, I've done too much to my hair. That's it. I'm going to go a year without doing anything to it. Like, nothing at all. Like, I might even diet or something like that, but I won't do much. And then a couple months pass by. I want to go to San Diego to do my hair or whatever.
No. I glazed my hair. This is not damaging to your hair. Doing like highlights and putting bleach in your hair, now that's gonna make your hair like
I feel like bleach is damaging, but
it's the worst you could do to your hair.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I feel like coloring is also just as damaging. Like the way I look at it is like your hair is naturally supposed to excrete oil. So is your face.
Babe.
And when you have makeup on your face or like something on your face all day, it like your skin starts to react. I feel like the same thing would be for your hair.
I'm a cosmetologist, and yes, some colors are damaging when you have ammonia in it. So like,
depends on
when you have gray
hair.
When you have gray hair and you're trying to, when you try
Did
to.
you fart?
No.
Oh.
What the hell?
I don't know. I heard something.
No, I did not.
Okay, continue.
Anyways, when you have gray hair, and you try to cover up, you have to use a stronger color to cover the grays, and that's when you have ammonia in the color. And so that's where it gets a little more drying and damaging to the hair. But what I did to my hair is more of a conditioning treatment with pigment in it. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Also,
my chemistry class.
Actually, there's 2 things I forgot to bring up. I wanted to bring up in the beginning of the podcast is we feel much better now, so we're going to be doing the $20 shots again. So if anyone donates $20 during the stream, you're number one, anything you write in the messages will be read out loud, so you can just shout out whatever you want. And then also we're both gonna have to take a shot. And also I have to shout out all of our fucking Patreons. And also if any of these Patreons are watching this episode of 10 Talks, guys, I DM like everyone in the Patreon at least like once or twice a week, and there's like we have 17 people in there now. Shout out to every single person in there. Thank you guys so much. But like maybe 8-9 people like reply. Like I feel like people will join it and then they won't like actually go to Patreon to like check messages, because I didn't even know Patreon had all this functionality either. Like you can message stuff, you could post videos and photos and all this stuff. So like if you guys are part of the Patreon, go to the Patreon website, because that's where we post our vlogs and like post other stuff. And also I've been trying to give away recently Raw stopped by, Josh Kesselman from Raw stopped by, and he gave us a giant ass fucking package of all this random shit, and he gave us a bunch of inflatable Raw cones like you guys have seen in our previous episode of 10 Talks. Our original one is still laying in the backyard over there, probably covered in rat dust and shit. But we have like, I got like 8-9 new ones, like a bunch of like freshly closed ones not even opened yet, and all of them are the same size except one is like a giant size.
Ooh.
And then there's like a couple other things, and I just feel like I constantly have like all these random items lying around that like I feel like, you know, people know. I don't know, like I just feel like I can give a bunch of shit, you know, to like away. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we have like all these clothes, I don't know, just like not just, I could think of shit that we can give to the Patrons on top of like other stuff or whatever. But this is the first thing that I thought of immediately was, you guys might want an inflatable cone. So I sent a DM to everyone in the Patreon saying send me your addresses, and like 8 people replied. So I said I was gonna send it out this weekend, but I'm gonna send it out all tomorrow. That's all gonna happen tomorrow. And it's not just gonna be.
Am I gonna be sending them
You
out?
might be sending them out, and it's not just gonna be cones. I'm gonna think of some other stuff tonight to include in like some of the random ones or whatever. But that's what I want to say. And then also, before we hop off the Patreon thing, huge shout out to our Patreons. At some point, I feel like I don't know at what number should be like just put them on the screen and I not read them out loud, because I feel like if I read hella names it gets kind of weird. But shout out to Tashina Tony, to Doug, Notario Restoration, DZ, Danny, Denim, Brandon, Russell, Austin, DJ65, Tyler A, Isaiah, Zach, Gabe, Jazzy, Coffee Sosa 11, and Hands.
Damn.
Shout out to all you guys.
Shout out to everybody.
That's what I'm saying. 17 people. It's fucking crazy.
Wow.
And
That's crazy.
I have a feeling that literally within the time that we get to our new apartment is right when we're gonna have to do the 24-hour stream.
I know.
Which is gonna be perfect because we're gonna have extra space, hopefully.
I've honestly been liking doing the vlogs and stuff too. I think
Really?
it's fun.
Yeah. We have to be more on top of like editing them. We still haven't gone the hiking vlog out and stuff like that. So we just have to like be like, I don't know, really on top of.
Hopefully things at the salon are starting to slow down starting next week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have more time to put energy into that.
And it just like kind of like fitting it into your schedule. You know, just like remembering to vlog stuff, and then like when you get home, remembering to like, I don't know, upload it to your computer.
We're gonna start doing a lot more.
We always say
things, though. We are. Because things are opening up, so
should we just say
doing more.
Should we just say one of the videos? I think we already talked about this before. One of the YouTube videos we want to work on, which is the relationship questions, because Rylee says that.
Yeah, we want to do like the GQ relationship quiz thing, but obviously our version of it.
Rylee thinks that she knows much more about me than I know about her.
I know that's a fact.
Well, I also have shitty memory. I'm a stoner. I smoke, 2 times the amount as you. And
okay, but I still smoke too every day.
And this is something I'm not proud of. And it sounds selfish when I think about it. It's easy to remember your birthday because you're like, oh, that's when I was born. And it's easy for me to remember birthdays that are around my birthday because I'm like, oh, before my birthday is this birthday or after my birthday is this birthday. But to this day, I still have issues remembering my parents' birthdays.
That's crazy.
Like I know
How? Those should be ingrained in
I
your
know
mind.
exactly. That's where I feel shitty. And when we first still got together, I still didn't even know all my months.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, he just asked me if September already passed.
That's what I'm saying. I still don't even keep up with my months, like in a fucking smart way. Like I just know what month it is because my phone tells me, but I don't go like, oh yeah, 3 months ago was this month, and in 2 months it's gonna be that month. Like I can't tell you. In 2 months it's gonna be July,
Babe,
right?
Come on.
You see, I don't like. That's why I don't like bringing it up and talking about it. I just avoid it.
No.
I'll just look at my phone and be like,
it's April.
It's April, which is my birthday's on 05. April is the month before, so it's 04. Boom, and that's how I figure stuff out.
There you go.
I usually use my my birthday as like a telltale for what
And you're like right in the middle.
What month it is exactly? I'll be like, oh, my birthday's 5.
Oh, I just breathe it.
I know. My birthday's 5, so like I'll be like May, June, July, October, November, December.
No, July, August, September, October.
Wait, July, August. I missed 2 months.
Yes.
Jesus. You see, that's what I'm talking about.
Days of the week.
I feel like we
You
were
never did that in school.
I don't remember. You see, that's what I'm talking about. I don't remember. I also, it's one specific. I remember there was so many different things in school where I just felt like everyone in my class was fucking levels ahead of me. Like, I remember when I was in second grade. I swear to God. I remember when I was in first grade. It felt like me and all my classmates were on the same level. Like, we're all friends, and it was, like, all cool. And I was just like, oh, yeah, it's cool, chill.
Yeah, because you're in first grade.
And then we entered second grade. And then I remember the first couple days of second grade, one of I forgot what teacher I had, but she was, like, reading a book. And then she starts talking about baboons. And then I remember, she was like, do you guys know what baboons are? And everyone in my class was like, yeah, we know what baboons are. And I remember that was the first time I heard the word baboon. And I was like, I'm so stupid. I was like, I don't know anything. I remember looking around thinking, like, why does everyone know what a baboon is? And I don't know what a baboon is.
Aww.
And then I remember, like, a couple, oh, shit. Oh, dude, thank you so much, Bojang Strong, for the $3. Yuriy special ed. No.
Through Super Chat.
I was never in the
Yuriy
slow
special
classes. Fortunately, but I did go to summer school every fucking year.
Really?
Yeah.
I never had to go to summer school.
I went to summer school every year, and then around 6th grade, I think I was talking to one of my friends in school, and he was telling me that, like, only the kids who get poor grades go to summer school. And I was just like, I thought everyone went to summer school. I thought it was like just like a voluntary thing. I didn't know I was going there because I was stupid. But fuck it. It was chill, I guess. It wasn't that bad.
Really?
Yeah, I went to summer school every year.
I bet you it was chill because the teachers probably were just like trying to get their check, and they're like,
I know. It's summer. It's fucking summer school. Dude, oh my God. You know what's funny? This reminds me of a really funny story where I remember when I was in high school. I forgot what grade it was. I think it was like 10th to 11th or 9th to 10th, but I had to take summer school in high school too. And I remember I was in summer school and I forgot what class. I think it was like a math class or some shit, but it was taking place in a science, like that was it was like taking place in a room that's usually meant for like science classes. Mm-hmm. And I remember it was like exactly what you're describing, where the teacher was super lenient, did not give a fuck. He was like, like basically didn't care or whatever. And sometimes all the students would show up before he even would. Like, we'd be sitting in there just waiting for him. Mm-hmm. And there would be moments where he would like walk away. There was like hell moments where we're just in the room by ourselves and no one's fucking watching us. And there was like a point where I was just like bored of some homie I made in the class, and I was like, dude, what's in these cabinets? And I opened up the cabinets, they weren't locked, and there was all these like science equipment, like all these like glass containers. You know what I mean? You know how like science bottles almost look like bongs and shit. Mm-hmm. But there's like, it's just like all like these just all this fucking random science shit is like in these closets. At the bottom shelf, I noticed that there's this like, it's like this base thing with the tube coming out, and it was like a giant measuring thing, and it was made out of like thick plastic, but the shape out of it was like perfect for a bong. Mm-hmm. And it was made out of plastic. And I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, dude, that can be a bong or whatever. And then no one was looking. I fucking put 3 in my backpack. I just like took 3 of these plastic containers.
What grade were you in?
10th or 11th or whatever.
Oh my God, dude.
So I remember I went home, and then I think it took me like a week or 2 to get to it, but I made all 3 of these things into bongs, where all you have to do is like melt a hole into the side, and then like find some sort of glass like downstem, and you could just find like a rubber like thing that fits around the hole that you made, so it could just like fit in there airtight or whatever. And I remember I got all these things from like a smoke shop. I made 3 of these bongs.
Oh my God, were you selling them?
One of them I sold to my friend for like $20 or $30. So I was like, yeah, here you go. One of them I kept in my garage. Yeah, I know, right? One of them I kept in my garage just like as my bong to smoke, and one of them I kept in this like container as like an extra bong. And then I remember like one time one of my homies from high school, like we were trying to smoke and shit, and I told him, I was like, dude, let's go to my house, I have a bong. And then we go to my house, and I take out the bong or whatever, and we're smoking out of it. And then he was just like, dude, this bong is so sick, like, where'd you get it? And I was like, dude, I made that. I was like, I stole that from science class. I fucking put a downstem in it. And he was like, he couldn't believe it. He was like, what? Like, it's so perfect. I was like, dude, tell me about it.
Dude, that's so funny. Did you ever have to dissect anything?
I forgot. It was, I think, 5th grade. No.
5th grade?
And I remember in 5th grade in elementary school, I had to dissect, I think it was a frog or some shit. I don't really remember the experience. But I remember when I was in 9th grade, I had a science class, and we did have to dissect the frog. And I remember there was like a moment where I was like taking the frog out of the fucking like water, and that water smells like shit because it's meant for it not to decompose. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, everyone's like, oh, it smells like shit, and I was like putting my tongue hella close to it, And then everyone in the
you're
class was just
stupid.
like, yo, dude, I got $5 and you eating a leg. And then someone else was like, I got this much. And then everyone started pitching in money, like trying to get me to eat the frog.
Oh
And I was
my
literally about to. And my science teacher was like, what are you doing?
You've always been like that.
I know. But dude, that liquid is hella deadly. Like you
I
can
know.
die from drinking that shit. So I'm glad I didn't do it.
It's so gross too. I know
It smells like shit.
It smells like death.
Yeah, it smells really bad.
We had to dissect rats. My worst
Oh my
fucking
God.
nightmare.
And I remember you told me you had to find babies in the
No.
rats.
We just got a batch that was pregnant. Like a lot of the rats that we had like a pregnant belly.
Yeah.
And so my teacher was like,
Belly.
oh, they're like, oh, he was like, oh, he's like, go ahead and like look in there. And like we saw like hella sacks of rats, like baby rats that were like in their fetal position. It was
Oh.
really sad, honestly, because they were
Dead. And
dead,
babies.
but they were like literally.
And you're like, fuck you, I hate rats.
Yeah, I was like, fuck that. No, I'm just
Squishing
kidding.
it.
I was like, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to look at it. I didn't do any of it.
I feel like that would be the perfect moment for you to be like, fuck rats. I'm squishing
Fuck
this fucking
no, I didn't even want to look at it because it was disgusting. It was naked. It smelled. Like I know exactly the smell you're talking about.
Dude, I forgot that is it embalming fluid? There's like some word for that fluid or whatever, but that fluid just smells like absolute dog shit. It's not
Yeah,
really
it smells like a dead rat.
good. Now that I'm sparking up this joint, you know what this kind of reminded me of? Is
Wait, should we try this charcuterie board?
like, I want to try the charcuterie board, but I don't want to eat on camera too much.
But I just want to try it
I go for it. As you can try it as I'm
to
explaining
try
this story.
before this is warm prosciutto
Okay.
and gross.
It's not gonna be gross. Charcuterie is meant to be left out for a while and people get to it and stuff over time. Oh yeah, so one thing you could just hella hear the crunch. those those crackers do sound hella thick. Oh shit.
Nick G. Abe dropped a bag $20 through Super Chat.
You gotta get the
Shots.
bottle.
P.S. What happened with the tea over Adam Zick story?
What?
Thank you so much for the $20 donation, man and Gabe. We're gonna be taking shots for every $20 dono. Dude, thank you so much, bro. He said, P.S. What happened with the tea over Adam's IG story? I
know
think
what
they're
you're
talking
talking
about
about.
something else. It's like this
Wait.
whole. What happened?
I
Oh, you
zipped.
zipped up the fucking thing and you're turn around because Jesus, I knew you did this by purpose. Here,
Wait.
no, here, look. Show the headphones through your jacket.
Okay, sorry, bro.
You just wanted to unzip your jacket. Riley took her bra off. No, I'm kidding. All right, thank you so much, man and Gabe. We're gonna be taking a shot. Riley's grabbing the bottle right now. Okay, so you know what I was thinking about recently is I don't know if you remember, babe, but back in the day, like before weed was legal, before everyone could get like a medical card so like quickly and so like easily or whatever. I remember it was like I think 2009 or 2010 when all of a sudden like medical cards were much easier to obtain or whatever. But for a while it was everyone was buying street weed. And I remember at that time, like, because weed was so taboo, it was like YouTube wasn't really around, so I can't really like bring up any YouTube videos to like compare this to. But I just kind of remember that at that time, the way like people saw weed was like if you were to be like, hey guys, weed is actually good for you, you know what I mean? Like it was like such a taboo thing that if you said something positive about it, it would really attract a lot of attention because you're like, what, like weed, the thing I've been told is so bad for you is actually good for you, and like and you're like it's kind of like clickbait almost in a way, you know what I mean? Like in a lot of articles and like LA Times and shit like that, we're kind of starting to do this where like weed is being legalized now because it helps cancer and helps this and that. And recently I've noticed this trend on YouTube where people are making videos where they're like, I've been sober for weed for 3 months and this is how I feel. And then like I've been sober for weed for 2 years and this is how I feel. And then I saw this like other video about
And
how
they're
like
feeling hella better.
yeah, and then I saw this other video about how it said like 12 negative effects of weed or some shit like that. And these videos are getting hella views. And I'm like realizing that like we're probably 10 15 years after the point where weed kind of became super, you know, common, like very very like in like, you know, more common in a household type place or whatever, where back in the day 2005 2006 my parents would compare it to heroin and would never be in the house. You know, now they're way more relaxed to it and shit. So I was kind of thinking that like now that same thing, that same kind of philosophy that made weed popular and made people like so interested in weed is now being flipped, you know, because now everyone thinks of weed as like the cure-all, the best thing ever.
know.
It cures headache, you know, like they just think it's like it's super healthy.
It's the shit.
It's healthy and good for you. And then now you can gain virality or gain clickbait titles by going like, weed, it's actually bad for you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's so funny because now it's like flipping the other way around where people actually want to, like, I feel like, you know, some of these people are like saying truthful, you know, experiences or whatever, but I feel like some people, they just know that like you saying weed actually traumatized my life, you know what I mean, like is actually going to get clickbait title, you know what I mean, you're going to get more views out of saying like weed ruined my life and my life's better without it, you know.
I do feel like weed probably does affect people negatively though.
I
feel like there's like a lot of people who really just cannot smoke, you know, like
well, yeah,
it really
that's
does.
100% true. I have
So
run into
maybe
people,
it's just those type of people who are just trying to make
possibly, that's what I'm
know?
saying. I don't want to completely say that all of them who are making those videos
Are
are incorrect,
disingenuous,
are
yeah.
disingenuous, but I sense that you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
that trend.
Mhm.
And usually when there's a trend, people hop on it for money and clicks and stuff like that. But let's take these shots. Huge shout to Manny Gabe. Thank you so much, dude.
Shout out to Manny Gabe.
Shout out to Manny Gabe.
Cheers.
Cheers. And it's so funny because it just
Ooh.
continues to prove at the end of the day, which is something I feel like a lot of people to this day don't understand, that a lot of big companies, they, including the government, they do not care about the well-being of people. You know what I mean? Like everyone does shit at the end of the day for money and stability. You know what I mean? Like in their business or whatever. So it's just like there's a reason why pharmaceutical drugs, you know what I mean, like Xanax and Vicodin and like all these painkillers that are killing people all the time. There's a reason why there's no rules really around it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's hard to get, but not really. You know, like, go like into your. You hear stories all the time of people who are addicted to this stuff purposely breaking their arm or finger or leg just so they can get a re-up on their prescription because they can't get in touch with their Connect or some shit like that. So, just like, I don't know. It just like we're seeing stuff like that. It just reinforces the fact that you gotta be more of a free thinker and like kind of pick up context clues of shit you see around you and not base things off like titles and articles you see. You know.
Speaking of connects, can we talk about how disgusting Demi Lovato's Connect was?
Oh, I know.
He gives me such creepy vibes.
Dude,
Those videos you showed me.
And I remember.
What was it, TMZ or Hollywood?
It was TMZ. You know what's funny is like I remember when that.
So
I remember when Demi Lovato first had that overdose, and I didn't really keep up. I didn't really, ever care. I still don't really care about. I'm not into her.
Yeah,
shit.
she's in.
It's like not to say anything's wrong with her. It's just like that's not top of my my cup of tea or whatever. So I never really kept up with her career. But I remember seeing those articles, Demi Lovato overdose, and then I remember seeing a couple days later TMZ post interviewing Demi Lovato's drug dealer, and I was just like in my head I was like, with this new internet age of like YouTube interviews
It's
and like
gross.
YouTube news and shit, I don't understand how TMZ is capable of going, we're interviewing the guy who illegally sold drugs that caused someone to overdose.
Almost killed her.
Almost killed her.
Raped her.
How is TMZ able to get this interview before the cops are knocking on his door saying like, hey?
And he was just so chill. Like
he's not. You could tell he was on something.
Yeah, he was definitely on something, but he was just so nonchalant about everything. It was
But you know
so
what's funny
fucking
is
weird.
like I said, I never really cared too much about her career or whatever, but the reason why that video stuck out to me so much is because of that reason. And then also I was like looking at the video, and then in that interview, that interview is already like 2 years old now, but in that interview that dude who the drug dealer is like wearing a Big Head chain, and I was like, I knew who Big Head is, he's that producer, and I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, why is this dude wearing a Big Head chain? That's so weird. And Big Head is sober now. Like he just recently did an interview with Adam where he talks about how he's sober and shit like that, and that's really good. And
I remember him.
That was 2 years ago.
That was him.
Yeah, and that was 2 years ago, where I think that was when he was doing drugs and he's hanging out with this sketchy ass dude. And then like what's even crazier is like we watched the Demi Lovato documentary, and she talks about how he raped her, and like that's another reason like how is he not in jail and they're fucking interviewing him? Not that I'm saying like like I'm wishing jail on someone, but it's just so confusing to me. It's
there
like,
was 2 interviews with him. You showed me 2 different ones.
I think I showed you a new one that's like done recently, and then that was like an old one because I saw the new one and I was like, what the hell? And then that's what after I saw the new one, it got me thinking like, is he not in jail? Like, what the fuck? Isn't it illegal to? So I remember when I was doing ecstasy in high school, you would never ever want to be caught with ecstasy because they took it so fucking seriously. If you got caught with 3 pills, there's a rule where 3 pills is not for personal use. Once you have 3 pills on your possession, that means even if you said it or not, it means you're trying to sell it. They can, like you can say no, I just need 3 ecstasy pills. All you want, they're not gonna believe you. There's a law that says once you have 3 on you, that's intent to distribute. Yeah. And then once you're selling, and then also what's funny is like once you get the intent to distribute, means you're trying to sell it, right?
Yeah.
But if you have 3 or more on you, 3 is enough to kill someone, is what they say. So that in itself is like a attempted murder or whatever. So you can get attempted to distribute ecstasy and then attempted murder on top of it if you get caught with 3 or more. So it was always a big thing to, if you get caught by anyone, swallow your pills or get rid of them or some shit like that. So like it's crazy to me to see that, like that's just such public knowledge and the cops don't care apparently,
Exactly.
And that I brought this up to you off camera, but it reminds me of when Keemstar was doing a whole news video about this one. I forgot his name. It was like this one. He was like on Vine for a while. He was super popular on Vine. I forgot his name, but a bunch of girls came out basically saying that like he was in relationships with them for like up to a year and a half. Like they were in a relationship for months, up to a year and a half, and he would be lying about his age, and then like they would eventually end the relationship once they find out he's like lying and shit. But like I think like 4 or 5 girls came out saying that he was pretending to be 23 and 24 and 25, but he's really like 33 and 34 or something like that. He's like in his 30s, but he was pretending to be in his 20s and lying to his girlfriend that he's like living together with, like she lives with him and she thinks that he's another age than he really is. Like it's fucking crazy.
Are you 50 years old?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to check my Russian.
Weird.
I have to check my Russian documentation.
Who is this guy? What Viner?
I forgot. People in the chat might remember his name, but I remember anyways, one of the girls who was in a relationship with him came out with this video where they were on a car ride together, and she was just like telling him that she was kind of not appreciating how he was treating her or something, and he was just like, I'm gonna punch you in the face, blah 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 blah. He was going off, like he was going so crazy, and like me listening to it, I was scared for her. I was like, dude, if I was her, I would fucking pull the door handle and run out that car or some shit. Yeah. Like I was like, holy shit. And then I remember Keemstar was making all these videos on him, and every video Keemstar made, he was like, I don't understand how I have so much information. This is Keemstar talking. He's like, I don't understand how I have so much information and the cops are still not arresting this guy. And I remember he was like making a video almost every day or every other day exposing this guy and calling attention to the LAPD because he lived in Los Angeles. And then after a week, they finally arrested him. But then he posted bail the next day.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, and also one of the girls was 16. And he was in his 30s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes. I want to know who this guy is. I wonder if I know him.
What? I would not want you to know him.
Why? I just want to know if I like knew his vines or whatever.
You probably know of him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you to know him personally.
No, I don't fucking know him personally either. Jeez.
That's fucking scary.
Ew. I never heard about this.
Does anyone in the chat remember? I forgot his name. He was a popular Viner, dude. He was like hell. You saw him. He was always.
You said he was Hispanic though?
Yeah, he was Hispanic. He was
Rudy?
always reposted. He was super popular. I just can't remember his name. Rudy? No, it wasn't Rudy.
Is it, you know who I'm talking about?
No. Oh, the
small
I know.
guy?
You know what's funny is a long ass time ago, when I used to still work with my dad, at the appliance place. I was going home because the appliance place was on Melrose and La Brea, and I was like walking up La Brea, and on La Brea in Santa Monica is the Target and Best Buy right there, whatever. We've been there before, and it has like a Jamba Juice and a fucking Starbucks and shit. And anyways, I went to that Best Buy to grab something for my camera for vlogging, and I saw that dude Rudy there standing in front of me in line. I was like, I looked at him, and I was like, oh, that's the guy from Vine. He had the hair like all flipped up and shit.
On point.
No, it wasn't Romeo Lacoste. It was before Romeo Lacoste.
Oh yeah.
But Romeo Lacoste got caught crazy too.
He's done so many tattoos.
I know, right?
That's all
true.
I know about
He's
him.
tattooed. That's what's crazy is like he's tattooed hella popular people.
I know, Justin Bieber. That's how he started getting popping.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's how it was like started. Like that's how he got famous.
That was the first popular dude he tattooed.
Well, Justin Bieber is like Justin Bieber, you know.
Imagine tattooing like a celebrity though. Like how scared you must be for fucking up, because you know that they're gonna post it, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, that tattoo is wonky," or that tattoo's crooked or some shit. You know what I wanted to talk about is we watched German in Venice. YouTuber on another YouTuber. He's super cool. He makes videos about like Venice Beach, and like a lot of his videos that I kind of started watching are about the homelessness in LA and shit, because he documents it pretty well. And he also like has like this like he will show the history of certain parts of LA too. It's pretty interesting. But he recently said that I forgot who, some sort of like small organization sued Los Angeles City, saying that like, hey, our homeless problem is just getting worse and worse and worse, and Los Angeles is not doing anything about it. You know, like they're if you live in downtown LA and you're in a wheelchair, you know what I mean, like, and you need to use the sidewalks, you literally can't use the sidewalks. Not even in downtown LA. It's like literally almost in different parts of Los Angeles. There's all these tents that take up the whole sidewalk, where like you like, you know, for us, you know, like people who can walk and shit's whatever, we just like walk around it or drive or whatever. But like for a person who's handicapped in a wheelchair, trying to get around the city, like I don't know if you've ever seen, but before COVID and before like this whole, well, this is like this video took place in New York, but even before this like crazy expansion like homelessness, there was this like video about, it was like this guy in a wheelchair, and he posted a video saying what it's like to get a bagel for me living in New York. And then he posted a video like saying that like he like searched up nearest bagel shop, and then it was like a mile or two away, right? And like he's in a wheelchair, so he's like, fuck, I can't be wheeling for a mile or two, so I'm gonna have to take the train. And then like he wheeled to a train station, and that train station is not handicap capable, so he had to look up another train station that was like even further away. Had to wheel all the way over there. Like basically at the end of the video, it takes him like 3 hours to get a bagel, and he was just like, at the end of the video, he's like, this is just to show you guys how difficult it is for me just to live life normally, you know, like I can't even go get a bagel and shit. Isn't that like fucked up?
It's
and
so
then imagine
fucking
you
sad,
live in Los
dude.
Angeles where there's all these fucking tents everywhere, and you can't even like travel.
Yeah,
And
it's like that's
the city's responsibility to take care of shit like that.
And it's just like some things that on a day-to-day basis don't really cross your mind, because
Exactly.
like you don't have that, you don't relate to that, fortunately.
Exactly.
But it's like,
people
damn,
deal
like,
with this.
exactly, and now it's like waking me up thinking like that's fucking.
I never thought about that until I saw that video, and when I saw that video, I was like, damn, that's fucked up. Like,
yeah.
And then you kind of have to be in a financially privileged position to be ordering Uber Eats for everything you want. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times, like we'll talk about how like we don't want to order, we want to go pick up instead just to save a couple bucks. You know, imagine you're in a wheelchair and you want to do that. It's like, it's crazy. But
Which it's like, dude, we should have accessibility for everywhere. Like that should just be a regulation. But
you would think
exactly.
so. But anyways,
I've seen the tents and stuff.
Los Angeles is not taking care of the issues that are going on within the city of Los Angeles. So some sort of organization sued Los Angeles saying, yo, you guys aren't taking care of this. Like what the fuck is going on? And because it's like some organization suing the city of Los Angeles, a federal court had to take on this court case, and the federal judge ruled that Los Angeles is in the wrong or whatever. And basically, some sort of money was won. Like, I don't know exactly too much about the court case, but the thing that German in Venice talked about was at the end of this court case, they basically said that the federal government is giving Los Angeles until October of 2021. I don't know, it's like, how many months from now? Like 9 months? You know months better than I do. But anyways, it's
5 or 9.
It's like
Wait,
not.
what?
It's not
No, what?
October.
6
months.
Oh my god.
It's 6 months away.
Or 5.5 months, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, they have like 6
Jesus
months to
God.
get to how they don't in the law or whatever, it says that they can relocate them, they can tell them to leave or whatever, but their main objective is to get them all housing or whatever. For all the homeless people that refuse housing, they're gonna be the ones that are gonna be like told to like leave, and they're gonna be taken elsewhere or whatever. So they're like basically gonna be relocated to another homeless part in another city. But a lot of the homeless people are gonna be offered housing and like all this different stuff, and they're given until October, 6 months to take care of this fucking problem. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like where are they fucking gonna go? They're gonna send them all the way to San Francisco because it's cold out there.
But then
That's what they do. because I lived in San Diego and their homeless issue is really bad too. Like, you think LA is bad? Like, a lot of homeless
We were
people.
going to talk about this a while ago too. I remember you telling me the same thing, and there was something I was going to bring up, but I forgot to bring up.
And so a lot of homeless people stay in San Diego because it's so warm all year long. Like, it's pretty much at least 70 every day. But when, like, you're a homeless person acting up and just have, like, I guess a lot of offenses or just a problem to the city,
They won't help you.
They send you to San Francisco because
really?
it's cold.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they'll, like, put you on a bus all the way to San Francisco.
That's crazy that you tell me that, because I forgot where I saw this. I think it
That's
might have
so
been a
fucked
South Park episode, but I think I saw somewhere that homeless people are literally flown all over the country. Like, you can, like, look up on Google, like, homeless people being relocated, and there's, like, all these homeless people that are, like, offered housing, you know, quote unquote housing for a limited time or some shit like that, and they're given free plane tickets and they're flown to, you know, a different state. And then there's, like, this map that keeps up with the homeless people that are being flown around the country, and they're just being fucking pushed left and right all over the country all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of crazy.
It makes me sad, honestly.
But
just seeing people
I'm wondering
out of it.
I'm
It's
wondering
like,
what's gonna happen within 6 months. Like, once they reach that deadline, if Los Angeles goes like, oh, fuck you, I'm not gonna do anything, you know, we're gonna leave the problem as it is. Like,
I don't think they will.
what is the federal government gonna do to Los Angeles? You know what I mean? But then also, you know what I was thinking is, I think this is like me being conspiratorial minded or whatever, but I feel like this whole court case of the federal government suing Los Angeles over this homeless population is kind of like their loophole of a way of, like, kind of making it seem how the federal government is like, hey, you guys have to give everyone housing within 6 months, which is a ridiculously short amount of time to help all, like, I think it's like 5,000 people that are homeless in Los Angeles. You guys have 6 months to help 5,000 people find housing. And then after that deadline in October, they said that, like, all the streets in Los Angeles that are covered in tents or whatever, the cops are gonna just take all that to the dumpster and just clean up all the streets so that they're, like, you know, people can walk again. But then I'm wondering, like, that sounds like a nice way to put, like, hey, homeless people, you guys have 6 months to get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like if the government were basically just to put out a statement saying, like, hey, the homeless people, we're giving them 6 months to figure their shit out, and then we're gonna relocate them so you guys can have, like, a free downtown LA. That would sound fucked up. But the way it's portrayed right now is like the federal government is suing Los Angeles to help the homeless people, you know. And then also, I think in that video, he said that in that lawsuit, basically Los Angeles was given $1 billion to fix the homeless situation.
So they better build.
And in that same video, they said that there's 5,000 homeless people in Los Angeles. What is 1 billion divided by 5,000? You know, like, that's just.
Should we look it up?
That seems like can you even put 1 billion into your phone?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this is me being like hella like conspiratorial minded, but that just seems like a ridiculous amount of money to spend on 5,000 people.
No, you can't actually.
You can?
No, you can't.
You can't, right? That's what I'm saying. Is like, can someone calculate that for us? It's like 1 billion divided by 5,000. Each person, like, how much money is going to be spent on each person to get them a house or whatever?
No, I feel like they're going to make like a big building, Hotel Cecil type shit.
You know what they're making? I don't know if you saw it or not, but I saw this other thing where when Trump was president, Los Angeles basically announced that they're building this, like, this whole section. I don't know where it's going to be. I forgot where it's going to be, but they're building this whole section of land where it's going to be small houses, where it's going to be, like, basically a very, very tiny studio house that has air conditioning, a refrigerator, a kitchen, a bed, and it's, like, extremely tiny. It might be even, like, the size of
like
this.
a tiny house.
It's like exactly. You've seen those, like, viral videos. It's like basically like hundreds of tiny houses.
Like a shed.
And I saw this,
shack.
like, exactly. It's kind of like a shack meant for 1 or 2 people or something like that. And I saw this like meme post that said when Trump was president, Los Angeles announced that they're making these tiny houses for all these homeless people, and then hella people were freaking out, going like, what the fuck? Like, you're just squishing these homeless people in these tiny houses. What kind of living is that? People are all super, super upset. And then now that Trump is no longer president and Biden is president, that same article came out again about the tiny houses, saying that there's, like, even, you know, like, now there's only a couple months left and the homeless people are relocating to these tiny houses. The reaction is way different, where hell people were like, good job, Biden, you're providing all these houses for the homeless people, when it's the same project, it's the same houses, but when it was announced in the Trump administration, people were like, you're fucking over the homeless people.
Way doper than what I was thinking, I think.
Which was like a Hotel Cecil?
Yeah, it's like a whole ass building that you just have like a little tiny room. Like you're having your own little place.
I feel like constructing a whole ass building is super expensive, you know?
Yeah, but I feel like building a lot of tiny homes is like gonna take up a lot of land, you know?
That $1 billion,
you know
honestly, you know what? I'm probably being super stupid right here, because that $1 billion is probably not meant specifically for each, you know, person. It's probably meant for projects like building these houses and projects like other stuff or whatever.
That's what I was thinking.
So that's me being dumb. That still seems like a lot of money,
Ding.
though.
I get one smart point.
Why didn't you say anything, man? You just made me look dumb.
No, I was looking dumb too. I said 9 months till October. That's so bad.
Because I said 9 months.
Like 9 months.
You can't trust my months. I don't know shit about months or whatever. Hold on, I want to grab the weed and roll up another joint. You know what's another thing that I wanted to bring up that I thought was ridiculously funny is, if you see academics or you know, if you just see some like Instagram page post, this girl was in a relationship with 35 guys, finessing all of them, and they were all giving her money and taking care of her lifestyle. You know, a lot of people would be like, get it, girl, that's right, you know, take care of those guys. I mean, like, take advantage of those guys, like, blah, blah, like, fuck him or whatever. This article came out about this dude. I'm not sure if it didn't say where he was from, but it said that the amount of money they were giving him was in yen, and I think yen is Chinese, so I think
that's like
I think it's in China or whatever. But basically, this guy got exposed or whatever for being in a like actual boyfriend girlfriend relationship with 35 women, and the base of his whole scheme was to get birthday presents from all of them. That was like, I don't know how they came. I didn't read the whole article, so I don't know how they came.
It was 25 women.
35. And hold on, you know what's even funnier? Listen to this. I don't know how they came to the conclusion about their birthday presents, but it says that like that he was finessing all 35 of them. Oh, okay, here we go. So he was in a relationship with 35 women, and he lied about his age to every single one of them, where he was basically, divide 35 by 12. That's like, I don't know, 2 or 3 presents a month. So he was lying to them so that he would get 2 to 3 presents a month, and they were giving him money, you know, like all this stuff. So basically his whole lifestyle was taken care of, like, or whatever. And I don't know how he was lying to them. Like, how are you able to fake 35 relationships? Like, he must have been saying like, oh, I'm going on business trips, or, you know, something like that. I don't know how he was finessing 35.
I'm so busy.
Exactly. He's probably like, how much time can you spend with any of them?
Even
you
like
know?
FaceTiming or calling people or texting people. 35 people?
But listen to how he got exposed. So basically, I don't know why the women started it, and I don't know how they started it, but basically some of the women in this Facebook group started their own separate Facebook group, trying to because like one of them got suspicious or some shit like that, and she's like, I think he's in relationships with other women. And then she went on Facebook and then found like pictures of him with other women or whatever, and messaged these girls and added them to their Facebook group. And they basically like in their Facebook group, it was a group of 35 people at the end who were all saying that they were in a relationship with the same guy.
Oh my god.
And now I think they're like suing him or something like that, like he's going to jail.
What a fucking ass. What a player.
You see? And this is what I'm talking about.
You can't trust anybody.
If it comes out as a guy doing this, you're like, what an ass, fuck him. But imagine I said it was a girl finessing 35 guys. You'd be like, those guys are assholes anyway.
Because it's probably when it's a
what?
I'm just saying, I feel like a guy is more down for just
having multiple relationships than a girl.
Yeah, you know.
I don't think it depends on guy or girl. I think it depends on person.
Yeah,
you know, because
it definitely just depends on
person. You've met girls who are down to have multiple relationships too, exactly. And who are like, I'm not sure if you remember, but there was like this whole scandal about this streamer dude. I forgot his name, but there was this like popular streamer dude, like
and his girl
some
was
white kid. And his white kid, I mean his
his white girlfriend.
His girlfriend was in a relationship with like 5 other streamers, and then she got caught like super red-handed, where at the end like
and it was like they were all popping streamers.
they're all popping streamers.
Like, girl.
Exactly. I'm like, dude, like that's very bold. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm saying.
but that's
she had some fucking good. She was not giving a
She needs to work like in the army, like with the government or something, because people who are able to manipulate people that easily, like that's a very coveted skill and trait. You know what I mean? Like that's a good trait to have. Like it's a shitty one to have to take advantage of, but if you're able, like this guy, if you're able to convince 35 women of a fake relationship and even convince them to a point where they're all giving you money, and you're doing this in such a way that you're able to live a relaxed life. Like if I would never do that, but if I feel like if I did that, I'd be living so stressfully. I'd be like, oh my god, what if this person like it would be so stressful to manage 35 relationships. But if he's able to do that in a relaxed like way,
yeah. 35
Boostrom dropped a bag $3.99 through Super Chat.
Shout to Bojang.
Two would be like
different relationships.
What?
Bojang Sean just donated $4. He said, "My boy Yuri finna be in 30 different relationships."
No, he's not. Bojang Sean. Okay.
Oh my god.
If he's in 30 relationships, then I'm in 30 relationships.
What?
Yeah.
You would not just leave me? You would just get in your own 30 relationships, and then we're in 60 relationships together? What the fuck?
That's what I would
Why would you even stay with me if I did that?
No, I would definitely leave you.
But you would get with 29 other guys. What the?
Because why are you getting with 30 girls too? What
For
the
birthday
fuck?
presents.
Ew.
I'm kidding.
Speaking of birthday presents.
Oh my god.
Yuri's birthday is next week.
We are at 4:25.
He is almost 30. Just kidding. He still has 3 years.
I'm gonna turn 27 on May 3rd. And honestly,
27.
it's like I remember when I was a kid, when I was like 15, 14, and I remember when my sisters and my mom would be like, this year I'm turning 18. This year I'm turning 21. I'd always be like, why are you guys embarrassed by your age? You know what I mean? Like, fuck it, age is just a number, like whatever. And then like now that I'm not like that. Now
you feel like you're embarrassed about your age?
But now, yeah, you always clown me saying I'm 30 now.
I'm fucking kidding. 30 is like literally so young still.
But just to get to my point is, I used to always kind of like, no, not always, but like as I got older, I would be like, damn, I'm 24 now. Damn, I'm 25 now. Damn, I'm 26. Damn, I'm 27 now. Yeah, I'm about to be 27 next week. And then, but you know what saying I always think of when I start feeling unappreciative of my age is, hold on, I can't remember. Let me think of it. Hold on. Fuck.
The wisdom.
God damn it! I fucking always
learning lessons.
I always think of this quote and I can't remember right now. Hold on. Age is a gift denied to many.
Age is a gift denied to many.
Denied.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's
I deal with that on a daily basis.
How many people do you know like can? It's a privilege to celebrate in older age. You know what I mean?
I think
like,
so too.
It's just like people will be like, oh, dude, I'm 40 now. Oh, dude, I'm 50 now. It's like, bro, you know how many people like don't make it to even 20? You know how many people don't even make it to 30? Like it's age is a gift denied to many. You know, not that many people receive the gift of older age.
I deal with this a lot being a hairstylist. I have a lot of clients coming in, and it makes me so sad because I see them as so beautiful and like cool and amazing girls and women, but they're like so self-conscious about their hair. Like, it's thinning, I have so much grays, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like over here like, you're still so young, you're still so beautiful. And it's like I think about myself getting to that age too. And it trips me out too sometimes, but I feel like the same way as you're feeling. Like, I have that gratitude with getting older. Like, you get a little wiser. Like, I just want to enjoy life when I get old. Like, I feel like once you get older, you enjoy life more too, because you're more mature, you're smarter,
exactly. You don't
like
have to
you're
worry
wiser.
about dumb shit.
Exactly. Like, you're just enjoying life. You have You start family.
You know what's crazy that we're talking about this is earlier today I went to go visit my parents and I saw my aunt there, and recently my grandfather passed away, and like we were super close. Like
Not your grandfather, your godfather.
Godfather, sorry, my godfather, not grandfather, sorry, yeah, my godfather. He recently passed away, and like most of my family, like 99% of my family is all in Russia. All my family is in Russia. The only people from my family are, my mom, my dad, my sisters, and now my nieces. But also my godfather and my godmother. They're the only ones from my family that are out here. Other than that, it's like really no one else. And there's like a couple. There's related to them. Like not really by blood at this point, but related to them is this other Russian family that we're slightly related to, but that's already like a whole very, very distant type shit. But they were just like super close to us or whatever. I went to my parents' house, and I basically met up with my aunt so that she can give me some more photos, because I'm supposed to make like a video reel for his we're gonna have like a dinner. He was cremated, so there's no cemetery. We're not gonna have like a funeral or anything, so we're just gonna have like a dinner. And I forgot what it's called, but it's like when someone passes away and then you guys like all sit and like talk about old stories and just like remember
a celebration of life.
Yeah, it's kind of like a celebration of life, but there's like a word for it for the dinner before a funeral, where it's not right before the funeral. It could be a couple days before the funeral, but it's like when people come and like share memories. It's kind of like, I think it's called a reception. It might be, but yeah, I'm making a video for that. And I met up with my aunt, and she was like showing me all these like old pictures of them together that I'm supposed to like scan and include into this video. And I was like looking at these photos, and it's so trippy to me because like I remember hanging out with my godfather and my godmother when I was a kid, more often. But then as I grew up, like I wanted to go skate, and like I was like busy with my own like life, and I wasn't really like kicking it with them. I would go like I would have dinners with them like during New Year's and like a couple times out of the year, like birthdays and shit. But I wouldn't really be like a super consistent part of their lives anymore like I was when I was younger. And I always kind of thought of my godfather as just like, oh yeah, he's chilling at home smoking cigarettes, drinking beer. Like I would always just kind of think that, like, I don't know, like I don't want to say like I feel like he was living a boring life, but I just felt like he wasn't really caring about like living an exciting life, or something like that.
He was content.
He was very content with just chilling, chilling, drinking beer and smoking cigs and stuff. And then when I was going through these photos with my aunt, I was like, damn, like they used to live in Germany, and they had like all these cool like photo memories, and I was just like looking through it, and I was just like, and he's like much younger, and it got me thinking about like us, and I was just like, damn, that's crazy. Like she was with him since high school, and then now like he passed away. I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy.
Damn. I know. I have like these two clients that come in, and this man is about to turn 100 years old.
And he's
next month.
Done?
He's getting his hair cut. His wife brings him in. She is the funniest thing ever. She has red curly hair.
Hey, that's cool. He still has hair.
Exactly, right?
At 100.
Oh my god. Okay, so he's insane. He's going to be 100 years old, I think, next month. And she brings him in, and he's kind of like, I think he's kind of like starting to be out of it a little more, he's just not the guy he once was. And I don't know like what exactly it is, but I think he's just a little forgetful and stuff, so she like has to like really help him out and stuff.
I remember you were telling me this. Yeah,
but they joke around with each other still. Like she's just super smart with him. Like he's like a character. And it was just getting like me thinking about Yuriy and I too, because like they had that same personality. Because I had to wash his hair for him, and I was bringing him back to his chair, and she was sitting in his chair, and he was like, "Get out of my seat," and she was like, "Oh, I'm in your seat." Blah blah blah.
Wait, he said that to her?
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell?
I was like, "Oh, here, you can go ahead and take a seat, or go ahead and go back to your seat or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, she's sitting in my seat." They were like just giving each other a hard time.
And shit. That's funny.
Just bickering, just giving each other shit. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is Yuriy and I like to a T." It was so funny. But every time they come in, I think about us like getting older and stuff together. But I just found out that it was gonna be his 100th birthday.
Wow.
The last time he came in.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and I was like, they're just the cutest couple ever.
I got kind of thrown off track because I was just I don't know, getting overwhelmed a little bit, but I was just like thinking about how recently like my godmother and my my godmother and my godfather, they've been like living a more like they're just so busy working, you know what I mean? Because like they both were working jobs where they don't really make much money, and like from what I know, like they're always just kind of like living paycheck to paycheck type shit, you know what I mean? Like it's like they have to work type shit, and even their retirement might not even be enough. So it felt like towards the end of their lives, like they were just like so busy, not even getting to enjoy their lives anymore. And I was like looking through these photos, just like fuck, they have so many cool old memories, and I'm just like, it's just crazy to see all that just be gone, you know? And I was just like sitting right next to her, and I was just like, damn, that's fucking crazy.
I love that picture of your godfather in the army with like the Russian hat. I forgot what it's called.
I forgot too.
But he's smoking a cigarette like with the Russian hat in the army, and it's like the coolest picture ever. Like we should fucking frame that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to post it on Instagram. I want to post a couple of the photos I took on Instagram of him, just like to commemorate him or whatever.
Yeah,
but like those are some cool photos of him.
Is.
He's just like
it looks like you could use that as an advertisement,
right? It's like, that's really cool. It's like literally my godfather sitting like this with a cigarette out of his mouth, holding a guitar.
Oh yeah, and he's holding a guitar,
and he's like in a whole army uniform, and he's like sitting next to his other homie who's like in a whole army uniform, and he just looks like he's just like chilling playing the guitar
with the fucking fur Russian hats.
With the furry, I forgot what the fuck they're called, dude. There's a word for them, I can't remember.
It was like, it's the best photo ever.
But after like going through that whole experience of like talking to my aunt, I was just like, damn, you really want to, enjoy life as much as possible. And honestly, like I kind of, what's interesting is I was thinking about this the other day too, is I used to think like that a lot during like my 12th grade year in high school, and then like me exiting high school, and then it quickly turned into a point where I was realizing that you can feel as spiritual and as emotional as you want about, your life and everyone's life around you, but at the end of the day you still have to make money, you know what I mean? Like it sucks not being broke, basically. Like you have to work to be able to financially support yourself and like do stuff that you like or whatever. So
but my friend did post this the other day, and I want to bring it up because I fucking agree with it. I've been going through some shit at work, so when I saw this I was like, it's so true.
But just to finish what I was saying is like it's so like I easily got caught up in the idea of like just like working all the time and kind of like not really like valuing my time on earth as much, and then I was like AD has been like I don't think it was on, it might have been on At the End of the Day, or it might have been one of the interviews AD has been doing recently with the other platforms, but he was like talking about how like he's like, I live every day like it's my last. He's like he's had multiple friends recently pass away from cancer, where he was talking about how like they seemed fine, and then boom, like he gets a phone call saying they passed away and shit. So like he had multiple friends recently of close to him like pass away from cancer. He's talked about how he's had hella other friends pass away from all types of other shit, and he just talks about how he's like, you never know when you're gonna fucking leave, you know what I mean? So you just like you can, it's good to like, it's weird because you have to live this balanced lifestyle of being able to save money and be responsible and not act like, oh, I'm gonna die regardless, fuck it, whatever. But then you also have to like be able to soak it up and not be like, you know what I mean, like working on time. And you know who that reminds me of is that lady who works at Ralph's.
Exactly. Right? She makes her work fun, so her life isn't
and it's like
fucking miserable.
And it's not even your job or where you live.
Job.
It's a mentality.
Exactly.
It's a mentality you have. It's like, and I've brought this up to you before, where like I watched this dude called Harold Balder on YouTube, and he goes to like, well, he's going to all different types of the world or whatever. But when I first started watching his videos, he was going to very, very poor parts of India and like just buying, just like trying to show how it would be like to live in those places, like going to the stores and like talking to random people and shit. And then he was I noticed it as well, but then he also mentioned in his videos where he's like it's so strange, where he's like, I've been to and he's not from America, he's from Germany or the Netherlands or something like that, and he's like, I visited Los Angeles, he's like, I visited London and like like all these other, New York and all these other places, and he's like in all these upscale places where everyone's making a lot of money, and it's like a kind of like a rich place, like people will walk by with frowns, people won't even say hi to you, and he's like, I go to these super poor parts of India where people are worried about if they're gonna be able to find food for the night, and like they're greeting him with smiles and like being hella like cordial and like super nice and shit, and he's just like talking about the differences in like how people act depending on like where they live. Like it's like you would, I don't know, it's like just crazy. Like they almost have literally nothing, and they're still the nicest people in the world. And it's like their mentality. It's the mentality of just like enjoying what you have, which is, I feel like a lot of people. Sorry guys, a lot of people tend to lose that.
I feel that too. It's like, especially like living in California too, you know. There's such a,
you see people around
there's like a difference between people from the West Coast and the East Coast. Like people from the East Coast are known to be more like talkative, like they'll tell you how it is, they'll say it to your face. Californians are like, they don't want to talk to anybody. Like they want their shit done fast, they want it done right, they don't want to talk to anybody. They don't care. It is like that.
There's a big there's like been a couple studies about this where they talk about how there's a difference, and I've noticed it as well because I've traveled around the country as well. Wait, are you passing it to me or are you just saying okay? But there's been a study about how the population density of where you live affects on like how you act and like treat other people. Where if I've noticed where when I was like traveling visiting my sister's husband's side of the family, where they live like in Idaho and Ohio and like, you know, like small towns in New Mexico and stuff like that, and I visited those places, and I remember having this like almost like shock where I would go to the McDonald's, and if you go to McDonald's here, it's like, yeah, can I have number 9 or whatever? Okay, yeah, here, thanks, bye, and then like that's
exactly.
it. And then I remember going out there and just like, here, can I have the number 9? Okay, what are you up to today? Like, what are you doing? I'm just like,
what? You wanna talk to me?
I don't know, I'm just chilling, you know what I mean? Like, and then like I'm just not even used to people being interested in having that, or even having, you know, trying to have that conversation. So I'm just like, what? I treated weirdly. But the study that I'm talking about talks about how if you live in a dense population area, people are more likely to be, there's more traffic, people are more likely to be in a rush to places, so they don't have the time, you know what I mean, like to conversate, you know, like people are really busy and shit like that, so you don't have the time to like stop and talk for 10 minutes or whatever.
That does make
and then
sense.
in smaller parts of the, you know, like the United States and other countries, or like we're just wherever there's smaller population density, you can have, you know, you have extra time to like, you walk slower. They also talked about how people in cities walk faster and people in smaller population densities walk slower. They people who live in like big cities talk faster. They'll be like blah, 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 blah. People who live
So
like in
true.
small parts of the town will talk a lot slower. You know, like it affects the way you kind of act.
So true. I 100%
Isn't that weird?
agree with that. Yep. It's true.
And I remember noticing that when I was like traveling, I was just like, what the
Even when we were going up
exactly
north,
I
would
brought
go to like the random like areas.
I brought that up to Rylee when we went with their family to Lake Shasta. I think it was like almost like half a year ago or so, a little bit over half a year ago. And on our way back down, we stopped by a drive-through Starbucks. And then the lady at the drive-through Starbucks, every time at a drive-through, it always just like, take your money, boom, and then boom, here's your receipt, and then you just continue going. She like took our money and she was just like, where y'all headed to? And I was just like, what the fuck? That's so weird. I'm not even used to that. You know, like people trying to conversate.
I know.
And we're just like, oh, we're heading back to Los Angeles. She's like, oh, how's the...
Are you from there?
Yeah, and then, you just get into this whole conversation. And I'm just like, bruh.
I've never been. Blah, blah, blah. I know. It is nice, though. That's when I worked at this coffee shop called Dutch Bros. They are from Oregon. Like, they started out in Oregon.
Oh, really?
But, like, they made that a point to... whenever you're like servicing your like I'm saying servicing, I guess, but like whenever you're talking to like a customer, you have to talk the whole time, like, oh, like, yeah, what are you guys up to this weekend? Like, if you're at the window, like, you have to talk to them the whole time they're at the window. You can't like have like an awkward silence. And that was so
they made that like
stressful.
a thing.
Yep. Like, and if like it was like quiet, they'd be like my fucking the owner of the coffee shop would be like, Rylee, like, why aren't you talking to them? Blah, blah, blah. Like,
honestly,
you get in trouble.
That's why I hated my my job at the ice cream shop at Cold Stone so much, is because I got the same shit. Where my favorite thing was, like, if someone ordered, you know, like, I want that ice cream with these toppings, blah, blah, that's it. And then I have, like, a minute or two to shuffle it. And then I kind of like that minute or two of ignoring them, just focusing in on the shuffling. And then, boom, I get it done. Here's your money, blah, blah. And then I remember, like, hell moments where my manager would be like, why aren't you talking to them while you're fucking mixing the ice cream? And I'm just like, really? Like, you want me to talk? And then I remember she would always complain to me that when, you know, in Cold Stone, when people leave a tip in the tip jar, if I'm supposed to sing, I would never sing.
Wow.
I would always be like,
No,
Like,
that was the best.
I'd be
I always
so
tip.
embarrassed. I'd be like, no.
Nope, I'd be
fuck
like,
that.
dollar, let's go.
Yeah, I felt weird about it. But we
Come
did have.
on. That's the best part.
It was a weird ass job. I don't know if did I ever talk about on 10 Talks about my manager situation at that job?
Oh, the one that was like into you?
Yeah. Did
No,
I?
I don't think so.
Dude, when I worked at this Cold Stone on Hollywood Highland, it's still there, and I think that dude is still the manager there. I forgot his name already, but I remember when I became I started working there or whatever. The owner lady, she would work there a lot. She would work there like almost like a full-time schedule, and like a lot of times I'd be closing up with her and stuff. But whenever she wasn't closing up, this manager dude was closing up, and I remember he would always just like talk about how his boyfriend is in the CIA, and he's like, I know everything about anyone I want to. I just talk to my boyfriend in the CIA. Like he would always it was almost like talking to someone in elementary school, because it didn't sound that, it just sounded like some stupid crazy lie. And yeah, I remember he would always talk about that, and there was just like there's hella different moments. There's only a couple I remember specifically, but there's hella different moments where he was acting hella weird and inappropriate towards me, and I was just like, whatever, okay, fuck it, I just ignore it because I'm just trying to work my fucking job and go home. And then I remember I worked there for like a year and a half, and around the year point we had like some team dinner at Buffalo Wild Wings, like across the street. So we all went to Buffalo Wild Wings. There was like this like long table full of like 10 people who all worked at this one Cold Stone or some shit. And then I remember like I forgot what he said, but like there was a situation where like I was asking for something to be passed, I was grabbing something, and he just said this like super sexual shit where it was just like I can't even like remember what he said, but it was just like hypersexual, and it was really weird. And he said it in front of the table, and he already had a couple of drinks, so he probably was like drunk or some shit. And like the whole table heard it. I remember like my manager and everyone like turned around and like looked at him, and we're all just like, well, like what? Like that was fucking weird. And I was just like, I don't know. And then like everyone just like continued eating. I remember there's like a couple moments where I had like just like these strange things where I was just like, I think my manager is trying to flirt with me or some shit. And I didn't want to, and this is where I could kind of start to relate with how girls feel, because I didn't want to ever be like, dude, quit it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you're doing right now, but fucking quit it. Like, or some shit like that. Because you just make the rest of the day fucking weird. I just kind of wanted to be like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you never touched me or anything like that. But it was just like, I kind of related the idea of just like being like, trying to blow it off and not trying to make a big deal out of it.
Exactly.
You know?
Sucks. It fucking sucks.
And yeah, I don't know. That was fucking weird. Fucking guy. What other topics do you have listed?
What the fuck? We've been going for a long time.
Just
right?
an hour, 12 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
Mhm.
Oh, look at us. Well, we were supposed to have guests on today.
I know. Oh yeah, one thing I didn't really mention is the fact that
Sorry,
we were. It's not sorry from us.
Well, we keep promising guests.
Manic Game wrote Yuri didn't get the promotion in the chat. We were supposed to have Camgirl and Blasey on for today's episode, but I don't know what happened with Camgirl, but basically they had to flake, and they said reschedule for next week, so that we might end up doing it next week. I'm not exactly sure. We're gonna have to like just figure that out. But yeah, we're supposed to have guests on this week, and that's why we kind of like don't have exactly like a bunch of topics listed like we usually do. So what else did you have listed?
Look.
I have one last thing listed that I wanted to talk about. Actually, two things.
The sand cats?
No, that wasn't even a topic.
Just kidding.
Once we get the like, I'm able to get another monitor so I can show them the stuff I'm talking about. We can definitely show the sand cat shit. Well, what?
Nothing. You say your topic.
Well, I don't know how much we can really talk about this, but Derek Chauvin has been found guilty on all fucking things.
Thank God.
But you know what I found kind of crazy is just like, he was found. They charged him with like They charged him with a bunch of stuff, but like the three biggest things they charged him with was like third degree, second degree murder, and like some other thing. And he got found guilty on all of them. And then like I read the thing and it said like, oh, his maximum sentence is 40 years, and I was just like, what? Like 40 years? Like, shouldn't it be more? Like, shouldn't it be 40 years to life? Like, why is it only 40 years? And then also, like, I'm not exactly sure how it works in the state that he's in, but I know that out here Well, if it's a violent crime, you have to serve, I think, like up to 90% of your sentence. But a lot of the times, if you do like a non-violent crime or some shit, you can do like 50%, even less of your sentence, and they'll let you out.
Yeah.
But he did a violent crime, so he's gonna serve, almost the full thing. But I'm just like wondering, like, why is that? Like, it just seems like a little amount of time, even though it's a lot amount of time.
Yeah.
It just feels like if you saw someone else murdering someone like that in like cold blood, just like so visibly and just like crazy like that, they would probably get life in jail or some shit. But he didn't even get that.
Fucking, because he's a cop.
But what's crazy is the little Mosey situation came out, right? And then in the little Mosey thing where they talked about basically that girl had already came out with these accusations against little Mosey, and he was supposed to go to court about it, and he missed the court date. And then now after he missed the court date, it became a bigger deal, and then that's why like TMZ and everything is like starting to, and like No Jumper and shit, starting to cover it. But what's crazy is like I remember when I was like reading the thing about the Mosey thing, it said that he was facing up to life in jail, and I was just like, that's also very, rape is also very bad, but why is murder getting 40 years and rape getting life? I feel like murder should get life as well, like, right?
Well, murder should get life and rape should get life.
Yeah, I'm not saying rape should get less. I'm just saying, why does murder get 40 but rape gets life? Like, why? Murder should get life as well, right? Like, it just seems very weird.
Yeah, he should definitely get fucking life. That's an obvious thing.
Right?
But
I just thought that was
I
really
think it's because
strange.
he's a fucking police officer.
Some people are speculating
I
that
don't know.
this is just like I'm not exactly sure too
Stupid.
much about how court works, but they're saying that this is like the beginning of the trials where he got found guilty on these, but then also there's gonna be like these like secondary trials where they're gonna find out exactly how much time he's gonna spend, and some people even AD said that like there's a chance that he might even get as little as 6 years in jail, and I was just like, that would be fucking insane, dude. Like, what the hell? And I'm not even sure if you remember, but I remember when he first got locked up, not even he, but like a bunch of fucking white nationalists and racists like collected $500,000 together in a GoFundMe to post his bail money, and he was able to get out on bail or some shit, and a video got released of some lady in Target like coming up to him going like, "You're Derek Chauvin, like what are you doing out?" And he's just like holding like a box of Oreos. He's just like, "I need necessities, like what are you talking about? Like I need food and water too." And he's just like holding a thing of Oreos.
Weirdo.
And I'm just like that's insane that like he's just able to walk out and about. You know what I mean? Like it's just so many weird things about this fucking case already. If he ends up getting less than like 40 years, I feel it could be justified because he's already 50 years old and like he pretty much will die in jail. But if he gets less than 40, like bro, that would be a real slap in the face.
People will go fucking crazy if he does. So
that'd be ridiculous. And you know what's yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's really not much we can say other than that's fucking gross and dumb. But what this kind of reminds me of is like for a while the whole David Dobrik situation was going viral. Everyone's talking about it, and then everyone kind of stopped talking about it, and then and then now I'm noticing that what's that dude's name that cuts hair? Jeff is posting videos now.
Well, now you saw he exposed David about how he cut his eye.
Yeah, the black eye or some shit. But before the expose video, he was posting other videos that had nothing to do with that, right? And then and then also I think I saw Keemstar posting that Dirty Dom was posting on Twitter. I mean on TikTok again, and I was just like, and
it was like joking about the fucking shit, I think.
And then also I don't know, it's just like weird. Like I guess it's just strange that they're all ignoring it. I have yet to see Alex make a statement. Alex lived with Dirty Dom the longest.
The fuck?
And like
where has Alex been?
He's so corny to me. I hate to say this, but like if you watch any like the whole Vlog Squad like that used to be, if you watch any of their personal videos, Alex is the corniest to me.
I thought he was kind of funny.
Really? He makes those like short films where he just like when I watch those, I just see him copying Arrested Development, The Office, what the fuck is the other one? There's like I just see like all those the kind of like types of jokes he's making, the way he's filming stuff. It just reminds me of these like old TV shows that I've seen where I'm just like he's just doing these old TV show jokes, but
I guess I've never seen those shows.
And that's what I'm saying. His audience is all young enough to be like not understanding that he's just ripping off all these fucking the way stuff is filmed. It's basically all the same jokes, just with different like context or whatever, and like no one's really realizing it because no one who's watching his stuff is old enough, you know. But like when I watch his stuff, I'm like, this is corny. He's just copying, like, you know what I mean? And then it's just weird to me that he's not even saying anything when he lived a Dom. Like he was literally like when David Dobrik moved out. Yeah,
he was in that video too.
Yeah, exactly. He was in that video. Jeff was getting Jeff was the only dude to come out and make a statement. Even H3 was like, why is he making a statement? His name was barely even mentioned in the article, you know. And Jeff was the only dude to come out and make a statement. But yeah, like I feel like why hasn't anyone brought up anything about Alex? I think he's just too beloved, you know. He seems too innocent and like something, but as if he doesn't, as if he's not gonna live in that apartment and then hear like, dude, 5 girls came over for a 5-some with Dom, you know, like come kick it, you know what I mean? As if he's not gonna go like, he's in the video.
Yeah, exactly.
And then David said that like, oh, we all left, blah 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 blah, we all left the house, and even Jeff was like, I left the house, but it's Dom's and Alex's house, so Alex was there with Dom the whole time. Was he just in the other room just hearing like moaning sounds and ignoring it or something? Like,
I don't know. It's just interesting how it disappeared all of a sudden.
That's what I'm saying. It just disappeared. That's what's happening. But I don't know. Seems crazy.
Yeah. Who knows?
What did you have listed?
Well.
What?
We were talking about your birthday.
And?
I was just going to say that I am going to vlog about Yuri's birthday present.
For the Patreon only?
For the Patreon.
That's such a good idea.
Because it's going to be a surprise. Yuri has no idea yet.
I have, honestly, you know what's funny?
What?
I didn't bring this up to you, but...
What? Now you have an idea?
No. I was going to say is, I had no, I mean, I have no idea what Rylee's planning for my birthday. And, she wasn't really telling me anything. And then randomly, I forgot when, but you told me like, hey, I already talked to, you know, Josh or whatever. I got you your birthday off, like Monday off from work, whatever. And I was like, what? Like, you got me Monday off? I was like, I didn't even know that. Like, what the hell? That was like a surprise to me. And then later that day, within a couple hours, I was talking to my mom, and my mom was like trying to, because my mom and my dad are trying to plan something, so we, Rylee and I and them can hang out together, whatever. And she's like, I know you're having Monday off regardless. And I was just like, damn, like if Rylee had not told me that a couple hours ago, my mom telling me that would have been like me going like, Monday off? Like, what are you talking about? You know, like she would have kind of like killed that little surprise. But you had already told me literally in a couple hours before.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Thank God.
I know, right? I would have been like, Monday off? Like, for what?
I was like, I didn't want to tell you until I wanted to write it in the birthday card. Like, I already told Josh, so like, you're good. Because I know you freak out about that shit.
Work.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm texting at Josh early. Like, can we have this off?
Especially since,
But I'm gonna film me getting all this shit.
Oh, yeah. Do all the behind the scenes.
Yeah, and then I want us to vlog the whole trip.
So basically,
Experience.
I have no idea what's going on. I don't know where we're going or what the hell's happening, but Rylee's going to film the whole behind the scenes. We're going to film the whole thing and everything, and it'll be a Patreon exclusive.
Yes.
Let's go. That'll be fire.
So, just giving a little
God.
pre-game.
I don't want any more tattoos.
That sucks.
What? Shut up. No, I'm saying no. Unless you get a tattoo of my name.
Austin Chargers dropped a bag $4.99 through Super Chat. Yuri B-Day Fund.
Dude, Austin Chargers, thank you so much for the $5 Yuri B-Day Fund. Dude. I really fucking appreciate that. Doak said the Patreon videos are good. Thank you, dude. I'm really hyped.
Dope.
Speaking of videos being good, the Asspizza video finally dropped.
I know. I'm so proud of you.
And I'm reading through the comments.
I cried for him.
I know you were more excited. Like
I cried because Asspizza tagged him in his post, and he only tagged Yuri.
So
I started crying.
Here's the position I am. I'm a huge Asspizza fan.
That's your favorite guy.
But because of everyone around me, all my friends, everyone around me at work, they're always just like, they hype it up to such a point where it almost gets to like a pause point, like pause, come on, you know what I mean, like pause or whatever.
He's
it's
your
like,
favorite designer. You told me that he was your favorite.
And so like
when I first met you.
and like and it's like he is my favorite, but like I don't want people to be like, dude, you love him so much, blah, blah, blah. You do anything for him. Like I don't want to make it to like a pause point where I'm like some crazy fan, but I was super excited that the whole thing came out, and then Asspizza posted like a picture of the vlog or something like that, and he tagged me in the post, and I was like, what the fuck? That's fucking crazy. And he also followed me on Instagram recently. I was just like, dude, that's insane.
You deserve it.
You know what I was thinking about too is like, literally maybe
You did a good job. Everybody's saying good job.
Yeah, that's what I was super hyped on. Is like a lot of people were saying like, yo, it's a really good video, and they're hyped on like the context I got, and I was just like, all right, sick. Like I that's what I was worried about. Is I was just like, I haven't filmed a vlog in a while for No Jumper, so I was just like kind of worried. I was like, fuck, I hope I'm able to do a good job and shit, and like also like our editing style has kind of switched up a bit, so I was just like, I want to be able to get it. So like I just want to do a good job basically. So I'm hyped that it came out really good, and everyone like most people are really hyped on it. Obviously there's some haters and shit, but most people are really hyped on the video, and they like it and shit.
It's a bomb.
But you know what's really trippy for me to think about is literally maybe 3-4 years ago when I was working at Starline. Oh shit. Jinx 15.99.
Matt dropped a bag $4.99 through Super Chat. B-Day fun, let's go.
Bro, thank you so much, dude. And wait, what the fuck? Dude, thank you so much for the $15, dude. What the hell? Should we take another shot for that? And then
let's take one.
Oh my god. And then it just dude, Jinx just donated $20. What the fuck?
$15.99 Abel dropped a bag $20 through Super Chat. Yuri B-Day fun, make sure you make a train on him, Rylee.
Jinx 59 Abel donated $20, said Yuri B-Day fun, make sure you make it rain on him, Rylee. What the hell, dude? Hey, I really fucking appreciate that, dude. Thank you guys so much.
One time for the birthday.
Riley's pouring up the shots right now.
For the birthday.
But you know what I was gonna say is, you know what's trippy for me to think about is when I was working at Starline 3-4 years ago, I think it was like halfway through my my employment there when I was like working there. I was working in one of the stands, and I see Asspizza and Kerwin Frost like walk by my fucking stand, and like you know how I am with like you know people in public, right? I didn't want to like make a whole thing going like, yo, Asspizza, hey, what's up, dude? I don't want like I just feel we were doing that type of stuff, so I didn't do it. But I saw him and Kerwin Frost like 4 years ago, and I would have never ever thought that, you know, like 4 years ago that like in the future I would film a video with him and he would follow me on Instagram and like and stuff like that, and I'd be like go to his studio. Like I would have never ever thought about all that. Dude, what the fuck? Thank you so much. No comment.
Dropped a bag $5 through Super Chat. B-Day fun dog.
Bro, shout out to Australia, bro.
Your birthday's gonna be lit.
Shout out to No Comment, dude. Thank you so much, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Shout out to every single person watching and
Taurus
to people donating.
season.
Taurus season. I heard you talking shit about Tauruses the other day. Whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're
Cheers.
stubborn.
Dirty DZ800 dropped a bag $10. Birthday fund.
Thank you, Dirty DZ. I appreciate you guys so much. We're gonna have to take like 2 more shots, but I feel like
that's spicy now.
I know it is spicy. You wanna wrap up the podcast so we can get to the after show stream?
Because I need to pee.
Okay.
And I want to eat this.
Guys, thank you so much for pulling up to the stream. I'm sorry.
This was good. I thought it was fun.
Before we wrap it up, recently I've been kind of feeling a little bit guilty because I feel like I haven't been doing a good enough job like making assets ahead of time to promote this. You know what I mean? Like I want to be posting 3-4 days ahead saying like, yo, 10 Talks episode 21 is coming with this guest and stuff like that. Like I want to be able to we gotta get on making this more consistent. You know what I mean? Like with the clips and everything. Like I feel like there's so much more potential if we actually get on it. So like that's the one big thing like I want to apologize about because I haven't really been getting on it, and it's mostly because of like a time restraint thing where we're both ridiculously busy. But I want to. Like, I remember back in the day, I was, like, on this thing where I was just like, dude, fuck sleep. I'm being productive as possible. And then like, for a while, like, once we got back together, like, I started, like, realizing, like, okay, I kind of like being able to actually get a full night's sleep and stuff like that. But now I want to get back on that crazy no sleep schedule of, like, working to get stuff out as soon as possible. Like, I remember back in the day, like, I would be up. You can ask my mom. Like, my mom, like, has seen this, right? I'd be up, like, until 3-4 in the morning editing vlogs. And then I would like schedule the vlog to post or just like have the vlog ready on unlisted so I can make it public on my phone. And then I would sleep for like an hour or 2 and then wake up at 6 in the morning to go work with my dad. And then and then I'll be able to make the vlog public and shit like that. Like I remember being on some crazy sleep schedule just to make my content more consistent. And I want to get back on that level, at least for a little bit, just to
You motivate me with the passion and drive you have for it. So
Thank you.
let's do it.
Um,
Hopefully I think that it's gonna start getting easier for us.
hopefully.
I could feel it. I know. I'm psychic, remember?
Yeah. I forgot about that. Predict some cool stuff.
You're not already, but I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm not gonna say that stuff out loud.
Alright.
I'm
Well,
just saying.
guys, we're not gonna end the stream right now. We're gonna continue the streams to get into the after show. But
I'm gonna take a pee.
wait, hold on before you leave. We're gonna end the podcast right here. So, guys, if you're watching this, please drop a like. Please drop a comment on the video, not in the chat, but like in the actual video, just to trick the YouTube algorithm into thinking that this shit's somehow popping in some sort of way. And then also leave a subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already. After I've been mentioning the subscribe thing the past couple episodes, you would think it's kind of like pointless to say it, but I've had a couple people DM me going like, dude, I've been watching your videos forever and I just realized I'm not subscribed. So if you guys just double check it, if you guys are not subscribed, please drop a sub. We're almost to 8,000 subs. We're still close to 10.
10K.
Once we hit 10, we're possibly able to make start members.
We're getting
and then you guys can have
piercings.
emojis and shit. No, I might get temporary piercing, but not forever.
What, get your ears
Right
pierced?
here.
No.
Yeah, if I'm getting one, I'm getting a cool one. One that goes through my cheeks
Oh my
in the middle,
God.
or my butt cheeks pierced
Get
together
your
like
belly button
Steve-O.
pierced.
Maybe. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.
Thank you
Peace.
so much for watching. Good night.